This is a video of our step-by-step shower construction procedure, which will explain how we get to the finished product that you see before you. You can see the footprint of the shower in the corner on the left, the toilet flange on the right-hand side, which prevented us from actually making a larger shower unless we were to move that toilet to the other side of the room. Here's where we're digging to get to the sewer line so we could tie into it for the new location of the toilet. Note how the studs are fully encapsulated. This is because there was a moisture issue before. We moved the framing 4 inches back so we'd have perfect symmetry in the shower on both sides of the window. Most contractors put their moisture membrane on the existing flat slab. If you do not have slope underneath that membrane, you end up getting mold and mildew, and that will lead to a failed shower. Your pre-slope has to be at least 1 inch at the drain. If it is not 1 inch thick, you run the possibility of there being a fracture and compromising the integrity of the moisture membrane. When I look at my competitors' websites, I always notice how they have some really beautiful finished materials, but when you look at that shower pan, you'll notice that the corners are sitting up a lot higher than the long stretches around the perimeter, and that means you do not have that quarter bubble pitch, which is the right amount of slope you need in order to have proper drainage. Here we are showing that we've fully encapsulated all of the framing with this rubberized waterproof coating, as well as a first layer on top of that pre-slope. As a second line of defense, we have this vinyl pan liner, which you can also note how clean and crisp our corners are so that they are not kicking out any further than necessary. At this point, we're furring out the wall. This is also to have the walls corrected. The first stud was 1/8 inch off the base plate, second one was fine, but the third one was 1/4 inch off the base plate. At this point, we're also making sure the walls are perfectly plumb. A lot of these homes that we work in, custom and otherwise, have a lot of framing issues that we have to correct beforehand. This one was not that bad. We then put up the backer board material. In this one, we have hardy backer that we've used. Note our screw patterns and how clean the lines are on that. We then caulk all the joints and seams. We then put on this mesh tape, which acts as an expansion joint so there's no cracking when we put our rubberized waterproof coating on top. Also note that we've used plastic coated rivets instead of drywall screws like most contractors. Many people assume that hardy backer or backer board is waterproof. It is not, unless you paint on a rubberized waterproof coating as pictured above. All the screw holes, pinhole penetration points have to be coated multiple times. This is the first layer, which goes on really thick. At this point, we put multiple coats of this rubberized waterproof coating, taking special attention to areas such as the shampoo niche and also the shower seat. This is where we do the dry pack. This is another concrete sloped layer that, just like the pre-slope, only using a drier mixture of concrete, because water is meant to go through the tile or stone, trickle down through this dry pack, and work its way to that membrane, which is why it's important to have that sloped. We also make sure that we put crushed rock around the drain so as to not clog the weep holes down below in the drain. Even though we've taken steps to correct the framing, a lot of the final imperfections are taken out as we install the stone. So you can see here where we've not just notched the wall, but we also back butter each piece of stone, tap it into place, and then use those nice stabila levels you see on the left there to make sure that each piece is perfectly plumb, square, and level to that wall there. I am not going to bore you with all the progress pictures here. We'll kind of just scan through them as we stack that back wall. Going into the second wall, which we make sure is perfectly square to that first wall we installed. Going ahead and doing the seat and building a bridge to hold up the material so that it doesn't slide off of that edge of that seat, and also doing the window and the final pieces around there, as well as the mosaic material, which we have as bookends on both sides of the vanity, both on the shower niche wall as well as the back wall of the bathroom. We then install the hexagon mosaic to the shower floor. It needs to be contoured with that pan. Also note our free-floating vanity made out of mahogany on site, as well as the bathroom floor installed at this point. When we were in the framing stage, we made sure we had the proper blocking in order to adequately support the weight of that mounted vanity. We then do the finishing touches, such as the shower trim and light trim. This is all Hans Grohe fixtures that you see. Very cool, sleek, modern toilet to go with this design. So this bathroom, you've got mosaic granite, vein cut limestone, 2x2 sandstone, and you can see it turned out quite nice. So you know, one of these good uses of the space that we have. You know, very small bathroom. Now they have a 40 square foot shower and plenty of storage space. Definitely a good use of the space.